Hey guys, special pump and dump thoughts today as it is the 8-year anniversary of my dad's crash. So I thought I would share the story of that. It's probably the only time I'll really tell the story because it's hard for me to tell. But if you guys are gonna follow along, this is like something that's really shaped me. So I feel like y'all deserve, I guess, to like know this about me and our family. So here we go. 8 years ago, I was living in Oklahoma City dancing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we were doing a costume change at halftime when my coach realized her phone had been blowing up. And it was my mom, and called her back and slowly walked towards me with the phone and said, "It's your mom." And I knew someone had died. I just did not know who. I answered, and she said, "Your dad's been hit and killed in a crash. You need to come home." And our game day assistant drove me home. My dad had a motorcycle in his early 20s in the 80s when my parents got married. And at that point, my parents had my sister, who's almost 40. And my mom prayed every single day that my dad would get rid of the bike because she had an intuitive feeling that he would die on it. But he loved it. He was like 22 and he wasn't willing to give it up. If you follow me for a while now, you know that my dad was in the restaurant business. In his 20s, he was just like a restaurant manager of one location, and he rode his motorcycle to work one night, and when he came out at about 2 a.m., it had been stolen. My mom was so relieved that it got stolen. She was like, "I never wanted your dad to die and leave me with this baby because he was stupid enough to ride a motorcycle." When my dad was 52, he was on Craigslist and found what he believes was his stolen bike. It was some kind, I don't know anything about motorcycles, guys, but it was some kind of like limited edition with an orange stripe or something that like he had gotten custom, and it was on Craigslist. So he begged my mom, and my mom thought, this man has worked his ass off for almost 40 years, whatever, and he bought it. That bike is ultimately what killed him. On a Sunday in broad daylight, going the speed limit, wearing a helmet, my dad was hit and killed by a distracted driver. This man was an old man that had his license taken away by the state of Oklahoma because he had been in so many wrecks that were almost always deadly. Or I'm sorry, not almost always deadly, always almost deadly. And so he did not have a license but chose to drive anyways, and he hit my dad head on. There was a nurse that found me a few weeks later on Facebook and told me she had been looking for one of us since I was a Thunder Girl. I was the easiest one to find on Facebook. And that she rushed out of the car and held him as he took his last breath. And she swears on her life that as he took his last breath, he had a huge smile on his face. My mom's intuition about him dying on that bike in his early 20s, and then that bike getting stolen, and then him getting that bike like 38 years later or whatever, just to turn around and die on it, is literally insane. Because she was right. It is the bike that ultimately killed him. My parents have been together since they were 17, so my mom took this really, really hard, and all five of us grieved in completely different ways. All five of us kids. I feel like I was born pretty empathetic and always like a social justice warrior, but my dad, it came out like after, if you haven't seen my other videos about him, that he had been quietly giving money to some of the undocumented people that worked in the restaurant for him for their legal and immigration fees and to help get their families over the border. And that's only solidified my love for people, marginalized people, my support of immigrants, and just really up the ante on my fight. And that's why I don't fuck with people that come for the marginalized. I think my mom and all five of us probably have a piece of my dad in us, and the piece that I got is the fighter. Just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about him, a little bit about what happened on that day 8 years ago. remind you, if you have both of your parents still alive, you are so, so, so very lucky. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Love you, icons. Bye.